everyone, I'm Rachel from the Calcasieu Parish Public Library. Today, we will be making owls. Some items that you will need to make your owls are some glue, some yarn or string of your favorite choice. You'll need a piece of cardboard, ending off of anything, a box, anything you have at home. You're going to need some pipe cleaners for the legs, a pencil or a piece of wood from outside, or a stick for the branch, what I call this a perch. And then you're going to need some white paper or colored construction paper from home. I had some construction paper, so I have 2 round circles for the eyes. And then inside those, you'll put these 2 other circles inside. And then I have these 2 black circles for the inside of the eye. I have my yellow triangle cut for the nose, and I have 2 pink ones for the ears. So let's get started. What I did first was I took my piece of cardboard and I poked 2 holes in it with a pair of scissors. And you may need some help with this part, but it's really simple. That's what I did. And then you're going to want to take your glue and go ahead and glue your ears on so that they can be drying. So by the time that you get to the top with the yarn, your ears should be pretty dry. And I've stuck my ears where they would stick up pretty high on my owl. So this is what we should look like right now. It's your square cardboard and your ears. So the next thing I wanted to do is take my pipe cleaners and I put them together. And what I did was I ran them through the holes like this, together in pairs. And I'll show you why. You put both of them, push both of them through. Might take a little bit at first, but like this. Okay, and then I took the other side and I did the same thing. Matched them up and pushed them through. So then you're going to pull it all the way through like this to where it's just like this in the front. Then you're going to turn it over. And what I did with mine is I left them together and I twisted them where they were real tight behind the cardboard. And just make a twist with them. So then you'll have what it looks like this hanging in the front. And it's okay if one is shorter than the other because that won't matter when we get there. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do next is to get your yarn ready, or your string, whatever you have at home you want to use. What I did with mine is I started below the orange of the base of the legs and I flipped it over. And what you want to do is when you get it to the back, you're going to want to tie a knot just so that you have it to sit still. It won't come off. And you might need some help for this part. One of them I made, I tied it underneath in the orange pipe cleaner. I ran it through there. And you pull it tight. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start wrapping the string around your body of your owl. And I pull a bunch of string because I like to use a lot of string when I make mine. And it's going to take it just a few minutes to get the base of it going real good. And see how it looks on the back right here? And you're just going to wrap like this. Pull you some more string. And you don't have to have this big of a piece of cardboard if you don't want a big piece of cardboard. And I like to cover my orange where my pipe cleaners are, because I really didn't want that to show through on my owl. But it's up to you. I mean, if you want it to stand out, you can. And then you just keep wrapping. My legs seem to be getting in the way. I just fold them up because we can unfold them. And see, as you get going, you can do it a little faster. And if you overlap, it's okay. It just makes your owl a little thicker. For your eyes, you're going to want to cut circles, and you'll need 2 larger, and then 2 medium, and then 2 small. And if you just have white paper at home, you can color your eyes whatever color you want to color them. And actually, this is a lot of fun because you can make like a family of owls. And this is perfect for the fall. That's the reason why I'm doing this one. And just keep wrapping. It takes a little bit. I did see this done once with thread, but that's going to take you a good long time to do if you use thread. And you just want to keep covering your owl, wrapping and wrapping. This is the longest part, is wrapping of the owl. And this is something that you can do at home with family, friends, or by yourself. And see how it's starting to look? And I'm getting close to where my ears are. So this is kind of like a little bit of a, you want to make sure that you wrap your ears under the yarn. And it will slide a little bit, but I was hoping that it would be good and dry by the time I got there. But what's good is it's getting there, so I can pull it up and tighten it. So then once you get to the top, your owl looks like this. And what you're going to want to do is, I worked my way back down with my string, just a couple of loops, just going down. Maybe if there's a spot you might have missed, or might be a little thinner than others. Okay, here's the easy part for this part. When you get to the bottom, you want to leave you enough string up like this. And this is where your scissors come in handy. And I clip it like this. And then what I did was I pulled tight, and then I ran under a couple pieces of the yarn that I've already wrapped, like this. And then I was able to tie a knot like what you did when you started. So you tie that knot. And you can tie more than one if you want to. It just depends on you. Okay, so here's my knot, and I have a little piece of an extra string left over. You can either tuck it, is what I did in mine. You can tuck it up under the rest, or you can trim it off with your scissors. So this is what your owl looks like right here. So then what I did next was I straightened out my pipe cleaners. I was trying to think of some other things if you have at home you could use to make legs with. You can even cut the legs out with construction paper if you wanted to. And so the next thing I did was I took my pencil that I'm using and I took it to the first two like this, put it up underneath pretty tight, and I just wrapped it real tight like this. And then I took the other two and wrapped them around tight like this. So then you have your little feet. And then these you can bend like this. So then now you have your legs for your owl done. Yeah. And I do have a color changing pencil. So when you squeeze it, it changes color. Okay, so the next thing we're going to work on is our eyes and our nose. So what we need to do is take your glue, and I went ahead and put, let me set our owl to the side. As you can see, what I did was I'm going to go ahead and just glue my little pieces together like this. So they're already done. Because it takes it a little bit to dry on the yarn. So once you get it on there, because you want it to sit flat so that it can dry. And you're going to do the same thing with your other eye. Like this. Okay. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take your eyes and put some glue on the back of the yellow. In my case, it would be yellow, which whatever color you have is fine. I put a bunch of glue all over mine. I'm just going to put it on top of the yarn. And then you're going to do the same thing with your other one. Put a bunch of glue on the back of it. Because that yarn will take up quite a bit of glue. And string does the same thing. And you'll put them on top like this. I smashed mine down once I put it on. And then you're going to do the same thing with your nose. Put your glue on. And put it on. Okay. So this completes our yarn owl, and I thank you for watching with us, and y'all have a great day.